what do you reckon on those lights then? Look pretty good, didn't they? So I picked these lights up the other day at a garden centre. Me and Sarah was just out, and yeah, there was like a big green section with solar written all over it. So I just thought I'd go and have a look. So I thought, yeah, some of the stuff looked pretty good, but you know what these solar lights are like? They're usually absolute rubbish, and really just not good at all. They just don't work. You know, they run out really quickly, or they're off by the time the sun's gone down properly. They've already turned off. But I thought I'd give these guys a chance because they looked quite interesting, particularly this one because it's got a solar panel on the top and it's got this kind of like, you can move it around. So you can actually point this towards, well, the sun. So there were two types of these. There's this one, which is like a sort of a wall light. It's got screw fixings on the back so you can basically, you know, hang it on a wall easily. And then you've got this other one, which is just like a small one, which you can use for like pillars and things like that. But they actually look pretty good. But like all this stuff, guys, I was wondering what was actually inside. So I thought, I don't know, I'll rip it apart. And yeah, here's what happened. Right, so just doing some tests on these little solar lights. So this is the small one, pretty bright. I was quite surprised to actually find inside an AA rechargeable battery. So this is actually a 300 milliamp hour AA battery, which is pretty cool. Nickel metal hydride. No lithium around here. And then in the larger one, surprisingly, no batteries at all. No, only joking. I've taken them out. They're 900 milliamp AA batteries as well, but two of them this time, which is pretty interesting. So the LED on this one, I don't know, it must be a bit bigger than the ones in there. Anyway, so the 900 milliamp ones, I've got them in my Nightcore charger. I was just going to test to see how charged they were. Obviously, you can just test by voltage, but I've just stuck them in here just to kind of peak them off before, obviously, the first test, just to give them a good head start. But it's interesting though, 900 milliamps in there. Actually, I wonder if are they in parallel? It's difficult to see whether they're in parallel series. What do you reckon, guys? Freeze it and someone will tell me, I'm sure. Also, guys, you might want to see what sort of current is being drawn from this so you can work out how long the runtime is going to be. So I've got the multimeter hooked up here. I've just basically stuck a bit of tape over the top of the negative terminal and then put another probe on the other side. So effectively you're kind of, you know, breaking the connection using the ammeter. Nothing groundbreaking, but look, basically if you put your hand over the panel there, then this comes on and then you can actually see your current draw, which is in milliamps, so 23 milliamps. So if that's a 300 milliamp hour battery, you're looking at about 10 or so hours on a fully charged one. Now it'd be interesting to see how much you actually get in on the panel. Obviously, the way I've got it set up, this panel is going to be facing away from the sun, so who knows what's going to happen, but it's quite interesting stuff. I quite like the way this brand uses AA batteries because you can get them anywhere, and it just makes me wonder whether you could actually you might be able to put like bigger ones in. Obviously you're not going to be able to fully charge a bigger one, but it would take longer, over a longer period of time, for it to actually get down to a level where, you know, the runtime's short. I suppose they put the small ones in for cost reasons, but ultimately you probably don't really need bigger ones because not much power is going to be coming in on these tiny little panels. So these are just peaking off. So it's taken a little while to kind of, you know, peak these. What have we got? I think it's 10 or 11 minutes it was saying now, I think. So from the factory, I think they are fairly charged, so that's quite good. It gives you a good head start. Obviously if you got one home and it didn't work, you know, there might be cause for some concern because potentially the batteries could be completely discharged, in which case who knows what's going to happen. Are you going to be able to, you know, recover them? But I think like most of these things, they say just basically just stick the thing in the sun with the solar panels facing the sun, just leave the thing off for a day and try and get some energy in there. But who knows exactly how much you're going to be getting. On this, I would say you're probably going to be getting a fair amount because there's two panels and this can be angled, you know, up to the right position. So after I was pleasantly surprised on what I found inside these things, I got them installed on the wall. So I actually got 3 of the big ones and then 2 of the small ones, 2 for the pillars and 3 for the fence. So the next thing was just to basically wait until it got dark outside to see what happened. One of the biggest things I was thinking of is it going to look any good? Because maybe they won't all turn on and off at the same time, so you might end up with like one on. It looks a bit rubbish. But to my surprise, actually all of them turned on at the same time, apart from one which turned on a little bit earlier. So as you saw, I worked out they probably run for like 10 hours or something like that. I think it turned out a little bit longer than that actually, because I looked at one of my security cameras in the morning, and at 6 o'clock they were literally still on. So as the sun come off, they turned off. So as you saw, the batteries are pretty well charged when I got these things. So it's not surprising that they ran pretty well on the first go. But it's been a rubbish day today, so I'm not sure how long they're going to last tonight. Anyway guys, I just thought I'd do a little video on these things because I was quite impressed, and it's quite interesting to show how sort of solar stuff has kind of progressed. Like when it was kind of in its early days, it was pretty terrible, as I was saying before. But now it's looking pretty good. Even these little lights have just got a lot better, and the batteries they're putting in them are actually able to sort of deliver a bit of power, and hopefully they'll stand up to the weather, and hopefully these panels will actually sort of generate some power to charge the batteries. But I'll let you know what happens. The other thing about this stuff is how waterproof is it. They look pretty good build quality. The other thing I've noticed is it's actually got a 12-month warranty on there as well. Anyway guys, I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I just wanted to make a video about them because I thought they'd be quite interesting. It's quite relevant to what's happening on the channel right now. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.